Balls! What? What is it? Ronan grimaced to himself. Ronan? It's twins. Twins? That's amazing. I don't think you understand, Farisa. Twins. From a mage and an elf. Elves seldom give birth, and we very, very rarely give birth to twins, my love. They'll be destined for great things. I know. That's what concerns me. Farisa considered that for a moment, and then realised she kinda knew where Ronan was coming from. The two of them had been involved in a whole bunch of great things themselves. Their infiltration of Grim Batol, rescuing the Dragon Queen Alexstrasza. After that, they travelled from realm to realm, acting as ambassadors of sorts, trying to keep the alliance intact. And then, Warcraft 3 happened. Both of them had lost friends, their families. But it wasn't all shit, because despite all of that loss and pain and hardship, they'd grown closer together. So close, in fact, that they were married now and about to have twins. You wizards. Always seeing the dire. I thought my people were gloomy. This is a good thing, Ronan. Farisa's confidence and hope never ceased to amaze Ronan, especially after everything that had happened to her. Her uncle and younger brother had been ripped apart by ghoulish corpses. No one knew exactly what had happened to her parents, but they too were presumed dead. Farisa had already lost one sister during the Second War, but the other one, well, there were some nasty rumours floating around about her. The official version of events was that Sylvanas died valiantly, attempting to prevent Arthas and his army from assaulting Silvermoon. That was where the story ended, as far as Farisa was concerned. But Ronan had heard disturbing news. A surviving ranger had been found babbling about how she'd been captured, not killed, horribly mutilated, her body and soul corrupted into a banshee. Ronan had so far been unable to verify these rumours, so he wasn't going to tell his wife about them anytime soon. Perhaps once they're born I'll feel better. I'm probably just nervous. Ronan! Oh, piss off, Krasis! Oh, for shit's sake. Ronan, I'm not going to help you. I've done my share. You know I can't leave her now. Before you reject me, let me show you. Let me show both of you. Before Ronan could protest, images then filled his and Varisa's mind. First, they relived the experience that Krasis had, one chapter ago, and that was followed by images of Kalimdor. The whole thing probably only lasted a few seconds, but 'twas exhausting, and Ronan felt a surge of anger as his heavily pregnant wife slumped back with a gasp. I'm alright. Just breathless. Give me a moment. Take your quest to someone else, Krasis. I've got far more important things to worry about. There was silence for a moment, causing Ronan to wonder if Krasis had indeed buggered off to find someone else. But that silence was then broken. You have to go, Ronan. I'm not going anywhere. You saw what I saw. He does not summon you for some frivolous task. Krasis is worried, and what worries him puts fear into me. I'm not going to leave you. Or them. The last thing I want is for you to thrust yourself into danger. I do not desire to sacrifice my children's father. But whatever this is, it's a threat to the world they'll be born into. If I was not in this condition, I would go with you. You know that. Krasis is strong, even stronger as Corielstras. It gives me comfort to know that he'll be with you. Come on, Ronan. You know he would not ask if he did not think you capable. These were all very good points, Ronan thought. Alright, I'll go. Krasis, I'll help you. Where should we rendezvous? Suddenly, Ronan was in a completely different place. Right. I guess we rendezvous here then. There's a pack containing rations and water for you. Just over there. Grab it and follow me. Barely had a chance to say goodbye to my wife. You have my sympathies. Ronan sighed, grabbed the pack and then followed Krasis out of the cavern. He could now see that they were in a very familiar-looking mountain range. We're almost neighbours. A coincidence, but it made bringing you here possible. Had I sought to transport you to the lair of my queen, the spell work would have been much more depleting, and I very much wish to retain as much of my power as possible. These images you sent, have you managed to contact Nosdormu since? No. That's why we must use every precaution. In fact, we can't use magic to transport ourselves to the location. We will have to fly. How are we going to fly if we can't use magic? Krasis then shifted, changing into his true dragon form.
Right, yes. Forgot about that. Climb atop, Ronin. We must be off.
And so, off they mustered. And as Corialstraz beat his great webbed wings, Ronin contemplated what lay ahead. What could distress the Lord of Time so much? And what could a mortal wizard possibly do to help? Several hours later, Ronin woke up from a little nap and realised that Corialstraz was making his descent. However, all the human mage could see was water. No land. And for a moment, he wondered if his dragon companion was about to land like a duck. But a rocky, ominous island then came into view, the sight of which caused Ronin a little bit of anxiety. Corialstraz then landed, and Ronin dismounted.
How soon before we move along? Not until sunrise. We must pass near the Maelstrom to reach Kalimdor, and for that we'll need our wits about us, and our strength. This is the only island I've seen for some time. What's it called? I'm not sure.
Corialstraz then settled down as Ronin eyed some nearby ruins. Very dark, spooky ruins.
Something tragic happened here. You sense it too? Yes. What it was I cannot say, but we should be secure up here, and I have no intention of transforming.
That provided Ronin with some comfort. He was going to stay as close to this dragon as he possibly could. Ronin then settled down and stared up at the night sky, with thoughts of his wife and future children filling his mind. The twins were not long due now, so hopefully they could wrap up whatever the hell this mission was fairly quickly, because he sure as hell wasn't going to miss their births. However, the thought of those two as yet unborn twins then became a little bit more vivid, because Ronin had drifted off into a slumber and started to dream, despite the fact he was asleep for several hours only a few paragraphs ago. In this dream, Ronin and the children were frolicking in the countryside. At least, he assumed they were his children. Having not been born yet, they didn't really have distinguishable faces.
Papa! Papa!
This is nice, Ronin thought.
Papa! Papa!
What the bloody hell was that all about?
Wake up!
Ronin's head was pounding.
Ronin! Wake up!
The two ugly twins then drew closer, the sight of which caused Ronin to awaken from his slumber with a gasp. However, as he lifted his head, he found himself face to face with another nightmare.
Papa! Ronin! What the hell was that thing? I believe it was one of those that called this place home. Are you saying that thing was once human? You've seen the horrors, unleashed by the Scourge. Is this their work then? No. This is much older. Even more unholy an act than the Lich King ever perpetrated. I think it entered my dreams, Graces. Manipulated them. Yes, others sought to do the same with me.
Others? Ronin thought. Well, that ain't good. How many others are there?
We can't stay here. No, you're right. We must move on to Kalimdor.
So, Ronin went ahead and climbed back aboard, and the pair took off.
When we've succeeded with our mission, I'll return here. End this abomination. There are already far too many abominations in this world.